Should we question God? Is it wise to make plans on our own, separate from Jesus? Let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Honestly Radio. Little kids have a funny way of disagreeing with their parents. Not so much funny ha-ha, but more perplexing and ridiculous. Although they have no grounds for their statements, they will still defiantly tell adults, who certainly do know better, that they are wrong. So yeah, no one's laughing, but it's still bizarre and perplexing. This pretty perfectly sums up people's relationship and dynamic with God. The Lord is infinitely wise, all-knowing, and omniscient. And yet, that doesn't seem to stop His creation, you and I, from sometimes foolishly arguing directly with Him or trying to not so sneakily do what we want anyway. You can imagine how this strategy works out for children and adults alike. Not very well. There comes a moment where we all have to recognize our own limitations and submit to someone greater and wiser than ourselves. As I've grown closer and closer to Jesus over the years, this has become my default. I may not know why something is happening, but I've learned God is infinitely good, loving, and wise, and He certainly knows better than I do. Whatever I have is drastically better in His hands than in mine. The struggle of submission to a higher power is nothing new. The Israelites were continually guilty of acting like ridiculous man-babies who would defiantly and stupidly fight with God. This actually sounds a lot like modern society too. The prophet Isaiah confronted them about acting like bratty children who were always arguing with the Lord or trying to sneak around. What sorrow awaits those who try to hide their plans from the Lord, who do their evil deeds in the dark. The Lord can't see us, they say. He doesn't know what's going on. How foolish can you be? He is the potter, and He is certainly greater than you, the clay. Should the created thing say of the one who made it, He didn't make me? Does a jar ever say, the potter who made me is stupid? Isaiah 29:15-16. The prophet definitely casts things in the right light for us to understand just how silly and pointless it is to assume our own way over God's way. When we try to make plans on our own without God, we actively reject Him as our Creator. The Apostle Paul reasons that is also a form of questioning the sovereignty of God. Who are you, a mere human being, to argue with God? Should the thing that was created say to the one who created it, "Why have you made me like this?" Romans chapter 9, verse 20. There comes a moment in the life of every Christian where we must acknowledge our limitations, recognize ourselves as God's creation, and trust that the hands that formed us know what is best for us. We can have faith that our God is our wonderful Creator and our loving Father. When we submit to Him and embrace His Son Jesus, we are positioned perfectly to embrace our true purpose. I pray you embrace God's Word. For free faith-building resources, just tap the link in our Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for joining us on Honestly Radio. Embrace Jesus Christ. Embrace true purpose.